City of Stevens Point Police and Fire Commission meeting, recorded November 7, 2023.
2 o'clock, we will call to order the November 7th Police and Fire Commission meeting. Andy, can you please call the roll?
Kirschling.
Here.
Moore.
Here.
Rosick. Here. Ostrowski.
Here.
Zenner.
Here. Everybody's present and accounted for. Next will be agenda item number 2, approval of the minutes. You all have them in your packet. I'm assuming you have reviewed them thoroughly. We have a motion. Any comments, questions?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Motion from Rosick.
Second.
Second by Zenner. Comments, questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Minutes are approved from last month's meeting. Moving on to agenda item number 3, the confirmation of the bills. Mr. Ostrowski.
Yes, Mr. President. Reviewed, and as to your request also, I asked Commissioner Kirschling to review them with me so that more people are aware of the procedure.
Excellent.
And he did so without sleeping too much through the session. But starting out with the police one, right off the top, nothing special other than, Chief, if you could explain the auxiliary radios, 2 of them for $8,900.
Yep, the radios that we get are very expensive. They're approximately, obviously, $4,000 a piece. Auxiliary needed 2 more, so they purchased more, and that is actually coming from the donations they've received throughout the year.
And from what I understand, that also includes like a 3-year service contract right away with it also.
Correct.
Okay, that was one thing I just wanted to point that out. Going over to the fire department, nothing unusual steps out there. The annual subscription down the top 5 or 6, that's a pretty normal expenditure, a rather expensive one, but it's pretty normal. Chief, I was wondering, water heater replacement at department at Fire Station 2. I see you split it between the ambulance and that.
Yes,
Because of them being a major expense like that, right?
correct. So that those building expenses are split between the fire and EMS budgets for building repairs.
Okay. And then going on to the ambulance service, nothing there jumps out at all, other than there's half of the other of the boiler thing. So with that, based on the review and the discussions I had, I would recommend we approve the bills as submitted.
Kirschling, second.
Okay, a motion by Ostrowski, second by Kirschling. Any other questions or comments about the bills for the month? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Moving on to agenda item number 4, which is discussion with possible action on the final revision of the policies and procedures for the Police and Fire Commission. City Attorney, if you'd please step to the microphone.
Okay, so first I just had a sheet to hand out to everyone here. So this is just a little bit of additional language that's not reflected in the one that was sent out with the agenda. Denise had contacted me yesterday and wanted to discuss this. Just a little bit of language pertaining to the initial selection process for chiefs, which members might recall the way that the background check information was handled with regards to the opportunity for the members to actually view that material from when Chief Cuso was appointed. This is essentially just reflective of that process. We had invited the members to come into the police department to view hard copies of that material as opposed to providing copies of it to the commissioners, just on account of the particularly sensitive and confidential nature of those documents. So fabbed up this language in order to just reflect what was done at that time. And then beyond that, the changes in red line in the copy that was provided you in the agenda, based upon my notes, should account for the comments that we received last month. And obviously I can answer any questions you have about any of those.
Okay, does anyone have any comments or questions about this final draft that we have before us?
I got about 4 changes. No, I'm kidding.
Only 4?
Let me get my pen out.
Anybody else have any comments or questions? Anybody have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept, this is our final draft of the administrative rules and procedures of the Stevens Point PFC.
So you accept it as approve it?
Yep.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
You have a second by Zenner. Any other comments or questions? Yes, Mr. Ostrowski.
Well, the only one I was wondering about, it says on page 5, new members shall be provided a city email account to use for commission-related communications. Does that mean you're going to have to use that, or can you continue to use your own? Because in trying to use the city one, that was a royal, I'm not that computer-oriented.
This is an optional thing. We had started, I believe, probably about 5 years ago, providing city-based email addresses for the council members. Prior to that, we had just encouraged the members to create an email address that they would use exclusively for city business, just in case of an open records request. They got all their eggs in one basket and don't have to filter personal matters out of it. It's a thing that's available for you. If you choose to use something else that you set up yourself, that's totally fine too.
Okay, in other words, it's optional.
Any other questions from any of the commissioners? Any questions from the audience members? Nobody's biting their tongue. I'd like to thank the city attorney and his staff for all the work they've put in on this. It's taken us a considerable amount of time, and we appreciate it. It's something that needed to be done, and I'm very happy to see that it is hopefully finished. If there's any modifications that you do find after this, we can always make changes. So keep that in mind, and thank you all for your time and consideration. All that approve, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries, and this lovely little project is put to bed.
Just a couple little kind of closing comments on that. There are a few places within this where there are just some formatting things I'm going to clean up, extra spaces that are in there, that sort of thing. It just, I think, when transferring from one computer to another, some things became a little strange looking. We will clean those up. We'll get this published on the city website like we had talked about through this process here. I'll create a final version of it for everyone in like a PDF format, something that's a little more stable, send it out to everyone. And Jerry, like you mentioned, this is a living document. It had been kind of left alone for a long time, but you know, like I mentioned to Denise yesterday on the phone, it's rare that we have a month where the city council isn't making some sort of change to the city ordinances. If we ever need to open this thing up and change anything in it, we shouldn't hesitate to do so. And just think of it as something that is evolving all the time. Maybe, you know, we can create a situation where, you know, people years down the line don't have to kind of go through the whole darn thing like we just did. So appreciate all of your patience on this. It's been a while that it took us to get through it, and thank you for your help on it.
Very good. And that goes for many of the departments too. If you have something that needs to be changed, please bring it to our attention so it doesn't sit for years like it did in the past. So thank you very much. We'll move along. Agenda item number 5, Chief Cuso, Police Chief's report.
Yes, just really quickly. Notes of interest, Officer Schultz has been working the last several weeks with the Citizens Academy on every Thursday. This Thursday is their graduation from the Citizens Academy. So he's done an incredible job organizing that with Plover Police Department, the Fire Department, and the Sheriff's Department. Lieutenant Johnson has done several presentations last month, some on de-escalation and safe work environment with the Department of Children and Families. About 150 people attended that as well. He also partnered with UWSP and the City of Stevens Point Inspection Department and Landlord Association to present at the off-campus housing for the students. Everybody here at the PD went through fall in-service where they got CPR updated with the help of the fire department. They did a legal update, and then we have a new way of doing high-risk traffic stops that all of our instructors had gone to, and so they taught everybody here how to do these new ones. The other thing Lieutenant Johnson has been doing is attending career fairs. Right now on top, personnel says 45 of 49 because the ordinance says we can have 49. As of tonight, we're going to be down to 43. Officer Will Kleismith has made the decision to resign for personal reasons. I know that he did an exit interview today with 2 of the board members here. And then on November 15th, Lead Officer Clark is leaving us for Plover. James Harper has completed his conditional offer, has successfully completed the psychological and the medical and everything else. So he is expected to start December 4th. On the 20th, we had Lieutenant Utenbrock, Lieutenant Long, Sergeant Larank, Sergeant Roser, Sergeant Klein graduate from leadership and police organizations. That was actually held here at the Stevens Point Police Department. It's a 3-week course, a span of 3 months, working on leadership styles and what works best and how to become better leaders. Very proud of those guys for doing that. And a note on that, Assistant Chief Williams and Officer Schultz, we had to provide lunch. They got so much money per lunch, and those 2 organized the entire thing, provided incredible lunches, worked all week long on all 3 of those weeks to make sure that everybody was happy as well. Willow, our therapy dog, passed the certification course to become a therapy dog. We just have to get signed off from the vet on November 14th. And then the individual who runs the program has to do an on-site evaluation of Willow. So she has agreed to actually go to Ben Franklin Junior High for about 15 minutes to see how Willow reacts and interacts with all the kids there. So here at the end of November, we will definitely have a certified therapy dog on hand. The other thing is, this is for November, but I just want to let you know, myself, the police department, several members of the fire department, the Plover Police Department, the Sheriff's Department, everybody, we've worked probably over a year on creating a monument in honor of those that have served in the military. It came to fruition. And we working with the Parks Director, Dan Kramer, and Scott Badoon as well from the city. But that is in place now down at Piffner Park, and on November 20th at noon, we're going to actually do a unveiling, even though you can go down there now and see it, but it looks incredible. And so there's a lot of people that put a lot of time into that over the last year to actually get that developed. So, and then the only other thing I have, McDonald's on the east side reached out to us, and I'm just looking for your approval on this. Originally, they were going to work for about, officers are going to go over there and work for about 4 hours. They're going to donate items to the police department to hand out to children and civilians, coloring books, stranger danger books. But what they'd like to do now is actually have us go work there for 3 or 4 hours and then donate the money to our to Lieutenant Johnson, who can actually purchase the items that he's already purchased in the past. And so I'm looking for approval for that as well. Again, it's the money that's going to be donated over the 4 hours to purchase items that we can hand out to kids throughout the community.
Chief, are you going to advertise that?
We will.
Okay.
Yep, it's actually on November 29th from 4 p.m. till 7 p.m. If I get your approval today to do that, then we'll actually get it out to the media as well, stating that a portion of the proceeds will actually be given to Lieutenant Johnson for those purposes.
So it sounds like we have 2 motions. Is that correct? Can we do that?
I'm trying to figure out if we can do that. I was hoping the city attorney would hang around, but because I'm not sure if that needs to be a separate agenda item. So I don't know if we can take action on that
Okay.
as it sits right now. When do you need it by?
November 29th.
Do we need to make approval?
I don't know.
Originally, they were going to try to donate those items, and we could work with McDonald's and maybe give them a list of the items that we were looking at, but we also don't know how much money is going to be raised over that period.
Could this be an addendum to the chief's report? Because in the past, they've mentioned stuff, you know, in the upcoming month within it.
They have mentioned them before, but it's not usually a motion item or something that we need to take action on.
You know, we can table this until the next PFC meeting, because at that time, we'll know the amount that McDonald's is willing to give us, and then I'll ask for your approval at that point, next month, to see if they can approve it. or-
Is this like the nights for Christmas, or we already do a fundraiser that's similar to this anyways,
Correct,
that you have approval to do?
correct.
I don't know if you really need to do another approval when it's
If
basically,
you already have the,
It's just a different organization that's going to be actually donating towards it.
right, and what we have approved in the past was the acceptance of the gift,
Okay.
I believe. Is
So
that-
you're
makes
saying
sense.
The action could be, is already approved, acceptance of any results would come at the next meeting.
Understood.
We'll postpone any action till next month, and I think that should take care of it.
Perfect.
If I hear something different from the city attorney, we will talk.
Perfect.
Or we can put together a quick meeting, something, if everybody's, or enough people. But yeah, generally, it's better to keep it as a separate agenda item if we have to make a motion on it.
Well, we'll just accept the donation next month if the commission decides to accept it.
Correct.
the action can still take place, it's just the matter of.
Yeah.
Right,
So,
exactly, right.
Perfect. Thank you.
So, anything else in your report?
Nope, nothing else in the report.
Okay, then we need a motion.
I do have, I'm going to make a motion to accept the police, chief's police report and put it on file.
Okay, do we have a
And then I do have a
second?
question.
Okay, once we get a second?
Second, Morozek.
Second by Morozek. Go ahead.
Chief, your, the Citizens Academy, is another one scheduled?
That is Thursday is their graduation.
Right, is another whole set thing scheduled, another
No,
class?
what they'll do is after this is all done, the fire department, all the police departments and the sheriff's department will get together again at the beginning of the year,
Okay.
2024, and then come up with a date that works for all the departments.
Okay, thank you.
Very good. Any other questions or comments for the chief and his report? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Moving on. Agenda item number 6, discussion with possible action on moving forward with the employment of entry-level firefighter paramedics. Chief Moody.
Correct. So as we have done in the past, to secure entry-level firefighter paramedics to the positions at the Stevens Point Fire Department, as the month progresses, we continue to do interviews and offer those conditional offers out and come back to the PFC monthly to ask for that permission to continue forward with their conditional offers, pending there are no issues that pop up during their conditional offer and that everything is completed appropriately. At this time, we are continuing to move forward or looking for discussion and action on continuing to move forward with Luke Kratzky and Emma Haynes as 2 entry-level firefighter paramedics at the Stevens Point Fire Department. Again, pending that they complete everything within their conditional offer. Their start date would then be January 8th when we start our next academy. And the onboarding process takes about 4 to 6 weeks total.
Make a motion to move forward with Kratzky and Haynes, you said?
Yes.
To move forward in the entry-level positions with a potential hiring date of January 8th.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Kirschling, second.
Do you want to add satisfaction of all requirements of the conditional offer are met? Add that?
Sure.
What she said,
So second agrees?
I'll second.
Okay. Then we have a motion and a second. Any other questions or comments about the agenda item? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Moving on to agenda item number 7, which is discussion with possible action to approve paramedic firefighters Mosley to firefighter paramedic status as of November 7th, 2023. Chief.
Correct. So probationary firefighter paramedic Mosley has completed all of his swing reports, his quarterly reports, and his final evaluation with our company and chief officers to a satisfactory ability, and it is my recommendation that at this point we take probationary firefighter paramedic Mosley and move him to permanent firefighter paramedic status as of tomorrow morning.
When did he begin with us?
He began November 7th of 2022, and it is a one-year probationary period with the City of Stevens Point Fire Department.
Very good. We have a motion?
I'll make the motion, Morozek, to approve the probationary firefighter paramedic Mosley to a permanent firefighter paramedic status as of November 7th.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other questions or comments? Any questions or comments from the audience? Seeing none, hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Congratulations to firefighter paramedic Mosley. Welcome aboard. Agenda item number 8, discussion possible action on appointment of firefighter paramedic Jennifer Petkoff to the position of field training paramedic. Chief.
Correct. Jennifer Petkoff has been with the department since September 21st of 2020 and has since completed the field training paramedic or field training officer program with our department. She also is very involved in the Tempest monitors and maintaining and updating and teaching our newer members about those cardiac monitors. She's also involved as a emergency services instructor. She is involved with the Citizens Academy as well and is one of our coordinators from the fire department. She also is very involved on the fire EMS side of the department, and it was a perfect transition for her to go through the assessment center at the Stevens Point Fire Department, and what we're looking to do is appoint her to a field training paramedic position effective tomorrow.
Very good.
Make a motion to move Jennifer Petkoff to the position of field training paramedic effective tomorrow.
Very good. We have a motion. We have a second.
Kirschling,
Second by Kirschling. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Congratulations to paramedic Jennifer Petkoff to the position of field training paramedic. Moving on to agenda item number 9, discussion with possible action on accepting a donated dishwasher for Station 2, which the department will have inspected by the city.
That is correct. So currently, we did not have a dishwasher out at Station 2. An employee was looking to donate a dishwasher to the Stevens Point Fire Department as part of, like we just discussed, under donations and a part of the PFC. I'm looking for that acceptance, that we accept that donation of the dishwasher to be installed at Station 2 and then inspected by the city inspection department. If everything passes with a clean bill of health, that dishwasher then would be in service out there.
We have the space and
Yes,
accommodate it?
the space was there. It was very easy to accommodate. It is going to be very easy to hook up. There were no modifications needed, just simply the acceptance from the PFC on the donation and then the inspection from the city.
Is this a replacement, or is this going to be a new piece of equipment?
This would be a new piece of equipment.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to accept the donated dishwasher for Station 2.
Okay.
Second on that.
We have a motion and a second. Comments, questions? Guess not. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Agenda item number 10, discussion with possible action on the approval of the Fire EMS and Emergency Management 2024 operational budget. Let the fun begin.
So I did include those into your packets. Again, the Fire, EMS, and Emergency Management 2024 operational budgets. I'm looking to see if there are any questions in regards to any of those. And again, something new that is falling within the parameters of the Stevens Point Fire Department is emergency management and that budget as well. As you can see, as you go through them, again, there were not a lot of changes in regards to the operational budget on the fire side of the department. We did receive our $5,000 back this next year moving forward into 2024. And we were able to reallocate some funds and just move some funds around within some of those operational line items. The most significant being general seminars and educational expenses. You'll see an increase of $2,500 in that line item. On the EMS side of the house, we were able to, after negotiations were finished up, and we will be going into closed session to discuss that EMS contract with the county. Corey, myself, and Assistant Chief Gemza were able to put a package together that you see, which we feel is in favor of the 2024 EMS budget. And then also with the 2024 EM budget, you will see there's not a lot of money in that budget, $3,000. And what we actually did was we moved a majority of it over into, or a large part of it into general seminars and education. The reason being is when we go through the fire and or the chief's report today, I'm going to introduce our new Deputy Fire Marshal EM coordinator and explain some of the goals moving forward, and that's going to accomplish some of those goals by moving those line items around within that budget for 2024.
Make a motion to approve the Fire, EMS, and Emergency Management operational budgets as presented.
Very good. We have a second.
Second by Morozek.
Second by Morozek. City Comptroller, do you have any comments or statements about this lovely budget we have before us?
Well, I don't, but I'm available for any questions.
Okay, that, you can stay there then unless we have questions. Does anyone have any questions for him?
Chief Moody, on this sheet here,
Yes, sir.
I'm looking at the $2,000 reduction in membership dues. Can we actually do that? There's a lot of dues I know come over the year.
So what we've been able to do is we've been able to reevaluate what 2022 and 2023 looked like, and we feel comfortable with that change moving forward into 2024. And how we've been able to accomplish that goal is we've merged some of those memberships for our organization.
I just remember over the time of evaluating that adds up in a quick hurry.
It does.
Challenging. Is there any other questions for the chief? Yes.
I got one. It's a little bit outside of the box, but talking about general building maintenance and supplies that's going down, we did discuss, I think, a couple months ago, there was a heating issue at fire station. What's the status on that, and is that going to have any impact on this budget?
No, this will not have an impact on this budget, as this is the operational budget for 2024. Those were borrowed funds for that project. And to give you an update on that project, we're actually moving forward. They're actually wrapping up that project as we speak. The only thing that's actually left out there not accomplished, besides just wrapping a few loose ends up right now, is the actual air conditioner unit for Station 1. We're being told that it should be delivered by the end of this month or early next month, but then there's talks about not appropriately hooking it up till spring of the year, just because of the time frame and the weather. But otherwise, everything else is moving forward. We will have heat for the winter, and I am, fingers crossed, we will have air conditioning for the spring.
Okay.
Heat for the winter is a good thing. Any other questions before we move on? All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. The budget is approved. Moving on to agenda item number 11, discussion on division chiefs and deputy fire marshal within the department being non-exempt versus exempt employees. Chief.
So, I would like to be able to go through this and explain some of the miscommunications and hopefully be able to answer any questions this month that any of the commissioners have as we move forward with some of our positions within the Stevens Point Fire Department. Last fall, when we hired battalion chiefs and division chiefs, both management personnel positions. Some of those positions were hired externally. The battalion chiefs were hired as non-exempt employees, and the division chiefs and the deputy fire marshal on me were offered conditional offers of non-exempt status. So I have 3 current individuals within the Stevens Point Fire Department, both division chiefs and our deputy fire marshal / emergency management coordinator that were hired and signed conditional offers of non-exempt basis. These positions then also sign a job description when they are hired with the department, and within that job description, it is silent whether they are an exempt or non-exempt employee. Within the Stevens Point Fire Department, we had a department policy drafted that had stated that they were entitled to overtime in such standards. We also had a section within the PFC, Section 304, Section 305, of explaining what type of compensatory time credits that those positions would and would not be allowed if they're exempt or non-exempt. We also have a city policy, and I think the easiest fix, after working with HR and vetting this through Baker Tilly and legal, again, coming back on the chief of the department, under wages and salaries, the department is going to draft a amendment to all 3 conditional offers within the department, stating that these 3 positions would be exempt based on a 40-hour work week and would not be entitled to overtime. This is something that HR and I are working out. I have talked with all 3 employees. They are aware of the situation. They are all willing to move forward with signing the amendment and placing this on file in their personnel files, and we will continue to then move forward as a non-exempt employee with the future in their careers within the Stevens Point Fire Department.
And that's the division chiefs and the deputy fire marshal positions?
Correct. The 2 division chiefs and the deputy fire marshal.
They will then become non-exempt?
They will be exempt.
Exempt, okay.
Exempt employees and not offered overtime.
Do you, and not to confuse this overly, do you know when or how that ever became part of them being exempt or non-exempt before?
What happened here?
Yeah, how did that ever?
So like I explained, when our battalion chiefs and division chiefs were hired at the same time last fall,
Yeah,
those battalion chiefs are non-exempt employees. They receive overtime. Our division chiefs do not receive overtime, and what happened was it was an oversight in the conditional offer that was vetted, and again, lies on me as the chief. And so to correct this action, we will make them an exempt employee.
so this fits in with the new pay schedule that was brought forward by Baker Tilly. Human Resources agrees with this also? Okay. Any other questions for this? This is a non-action item at this point in time. This is discussion only, just so you're aware.
Correct, because the action is working with HR.
Right. This is not our purview in a sense, except for it's become a very large subject over the months, and it's getting resolved now, which we're all very thankful for.
And you said discussion with all 3 personnel involved, they were acceptable?
Yes.
Does anybody else have any further questions about this?
When will this go to HR? This process?
When does this become final, I think is,
Would be
yeah.
the-
So we're bringing it in front of everyone here to have a discussion, to hear what the discussion is, and then she and I will work to move this forward within the next few weeks.
Okay. So my
And the only
recommendation
thing,
is
yeah, my
get her done.
Yes.
recommendation would be to bring that paperwork back then next month for after they've been updated. Because obviously these positions fall under the Police and Fire Commission. I get it working with HR, but their chain of command lies within the PFC.
Correct, and I can bring those amended conditional offers that are signed in front of the PFC next month.
Okay. There we go. Anything else anyone would like to say? I guess that puts to bed this discussion for now, unless you have anything else to add, Chief?
Nope, and so again, just, I want to make sure that we're good saying that these employees then are going to go from a non-exempt status to an exempt status. I will work with HR over the next month to complete everything, get the signatures from all 3 of our employees, and then bring everything back in front of the PFC next month.
Sounds good. Everybody, yeah?
Yeah, the only thing I would think of then would be that we bring Logan back in here and address 3.0 for the administrative policies.
Making sure that it's written up right. Yep.
Yep.
Very good. Okay. All
I
right.
know he wants to talk about that again.
Boy, absolutely, don't we all? All right, that is the end of discussion on agenda item number 11, and we will move on to agenda item number 12, which is the fire chief's report. Chief?
I apologize.
It's all good.
Just gonna shuffle some papers here. So again, just finishing up Fire Prevention Month last month, very successful. We did things a lot different this year, having 2 members in the Bureau. We were able to get some schools in to do actual friendly firefighter and station tours, and then we were able to get the 2 members from the Bureau, our division chief and deputy fire marshal, out to the schools as well as much as possible, and get them into the schools working with the kids during the Fire Prevention Month. Also, a big thing that a lot of our members were able to just complete is they just completed their state certified aerial driver operator course, which allows them to operate our heavy pieces of equipment within the Stevens Point Fire Department, running our fire engines and trucks as the actual certified driver. Firefighters Gemza, Clements, Baranski, Papard, Petkoff, Mosley, Fornes, Honayas, and Pilat. Also, we just had our Portage County EMS Awards Banquet. A lot of awards were given out to our members within the Stevens Point Fire Department. For 15 years of service, motor pump operator, paramedic Pete Ostrowski. For 20 years of service, Lieutenant Paramedic Travis Cook. We had outstanding service awards given to firefighter paramedics Butler and Lewandowski. And then we also had field training paramedic Joey Gemza and Jennifer Petkoff receive those outstanding service awards as well. Medical director awards were given out to Brianna Windsor, Fisher, Fornes, MPO paramedic Parker, and field training paramedic Pilat, and Lieutenant paramedic Ron Hebler. Also of big significance, Shane Westfall, Lieutenant paramedic Shane Westfall, was given the 71st Assembly's District First Responder of the Year Award at the State of Wisconsin Capitol on behalf of Representative Shanklin for the First Responder of the Year. So that was a very significant event as well within our department. We just completed trench rescue training at the operational level within our department. Next year, in the spring of the year, we plan on completing the technician course. And then again, just like Chief Cuso had some members finish PIO course, we just had some finish the Public Information Officers course as well, being able to get out there and speak with the media and represent us appropriately in that fashion. And that was Chief Savara, Chief Ewing, and Deputy Fire Marshal Malin. The one thing I'd like to point out in the, one other thing I'd like to point out in the fire chief's report is fire runs currently are up 17.34% overall. We're projected to be over 21% increase just this year in fire calls. That does not include EMS, and EMS runs are up as well significantly this year. So we are on track to have a record year within the Stevens Point Fire Department.
Chief, one question for you on your report. That state certified aerial course, is that a permanent certificate, or do they have to renew this periodically?
That is a permanent certification. So once they have that and it's completed, they are good by SPS standards.
Thank you.
Chief, on those increases in calls, is that general calls? What kind of calls is that? Is it spread evenly throughout, or what?
It's actually spread evenly throughout on the fire side. EMS has played a portion of that increase, but it's pretty evenly sprawled out. On the fire, or on the EMS side, though, gravity seems to be one of our problems this year, and our falls, and the need for assistance and that help up is definitely part of that increase on the EMS side.
Is there anything else in your report that you have for us today?
I don't believe so, unless anyone else has any questions.
I'll make a motion to accept the report and place it on file.
Second.
Second by Ostrowski. Any other questions or comments about the report? Anyone from the audience? Okay, all in favor of accepting the report, placing it on file, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. From this point, we will move on to agenda item number 13, which is a motion to adjourn into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 19.85, parent 1, subparent C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility. And statute 19.85, parent 1, sub E, deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business, whenever competitive or bargaining reasons required a closed session for discussion of the following: A, police chief and fire chief annual evaluations; B, possible extension of probationary period for an employee in the fire department; and C, update on EMS contract negotiations with Portage County. Do we have a second?
I second that.
Would you repeat all of that for me? Just kidding. We will be adjourning right out of closed session, so there's no need for you to come back, Sarah. Thank you very much. And we are in close. We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please. We need a roll call vote.
Kirschling.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Mrozik.
Yes.
Ostrowski.
Yes.
Zenner.
Yes.
We are in closed session. Please leave the room if you do not have to be here for any of this.
I'll make a motion to move into open session.
Second it.
We have a motion and a second.
Kirschling.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Mrozik.
Yes.
Ostrowski.
Yes.
Zenner.
Yes.
Okay, we are in open session dealing with a possible extension for probationary period for an employee in the fire department. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we extend the probationary period 6 months.
Kirschling, second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries, and we are adjourned.
A video of this meeting is available for viewing on the city's website, stevenspoint.com/videos.